What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather around and talk about last week's games, next week's games, and everything in between. Welcome to 2024. This is round 0. I am your host, Nathan Norman, joined, as always, by the co-host with the co-most, Daniel, Big Daddy, Reedy.
Bruce, the genetic jackhammer. How you going, mate? The man with the tan, the number one surfer, the number one Mal Crew.
Oh, Mal Crew, represent.
How's the summer been, mate? Been catching many big waves?
Yeah. Been doing a lot of surfing, as you know.
Out there,
that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Paddling around, just keeping an eye on obviously all the pre-off-season, out-of-season
shenanigans
in the AFL with Oliver, and just there's been so much going on.
His complex hammy has been flaring up.
And as a D supporter, I bet you've had one eye on it, but one eye just going on. But he's looking like he's going to play in this game.
No, he's looking good to go. And before we get to that, we'll also introduce via undisclosed location our reporter in the field. If God was shooting from half court when he made this man, it is Rick Trip P. Parker.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Season is upon us. It's getting exciting.
How are you, good sir?
In the corner. It is good to be back for another year of All for Footy with the boys.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
You too. I think we're having a bit of a technical difficulty here because I can't see you again. But,
you don't need to see us. Don't worry, we can see you.
Hey.
So we'll just keep rolling on, mate. But absolutely loving it from this undisclosed location.
Mate, you kept this as a secret
over the off season. So with a new addition to the Parker family. So
I've heard
young Tyson in. So. Been a busy off season, mate. So very happy to be here tonight with the night off.
Good work.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting now. Now the Raby has Jai, you have Ty, and I've got Mai.
Yeah, plenty of time for mine.
My nuts.
We won't say what mine.
All right, my nuts. All right. But yeah, with that, let's have a little bit of a discussion about what's happened.
What has happened, Nathan?
Since the grand final, since 2023 Premiership season.
I think you can't go past what's just happened in the last 2 weeks in the practice matches.
How's it been? How's those Sainers?
To watch footy again.
A couple of big talking points with Sammy Powell-Pepper.
My man Powell-Pepper.
Getting sent straight to the tribunal for 4. And then just on the weekend just gone, Webster from the Saints.
My man Webster.
News fresh in. This is breaking. You hear it here first. He's copped 7 weeks. So 7 weeks, and then if he's due to come back, if he comes straight back into that side, he'll play North again in round 8.
You've heard it here first.
For his first game of the year. So
that would be about the same as
that one.
The same as Barry Hall received for hitting Brett Staker, wasn't it? About 7 weeks.
Yeah. So I just don't.
No, look, it wasn't a good act, and especially at the moment with the way it's all going. I mean, he really didn't time his timing very well there, on both ends. I think the hit.
It was pretty ugly.
What was he thinking following through on just wasn't called for, and not to know that you wouldn't have heard everything about what's happening in the game at the moment. So really a silly, like a real silly move by Webster there, and I think he's just got to cop it. Whether at points they were talking 10 weeks, which you probably always felt was a bit over the top, but 7, I mean, with the way it's going, it just is about right. It's and I'm saying that as a Saints supporter, it's just bloody right. Let's really take the late hit. It was a late hit. He flew into the bloke, and they're trying to say at the moment as well that if the same action should get judged on the same merit. So if you clean up the guy in the head or not, the fact that you've launched, you're already almost leaving yourself vulnerable for potential suspension anyway. So, maybe 7 for collecting them and taking them out. But if you're still doing the same thing, you might cop a week now for just a silly launch. So I think they've really moved forward. And
I reckon he could have got more. He probably should have got more.
No, well, it sets the tone for under that if players are really cannoning in.
We went over this numerous of times last year. I don't know how many rants I went on last year.
Let's just thank Braden Maynard. He's set the standard on the rule now, and if you cannon in, that's it. So I think that's more whether you hit head or not.
I think those two incidents are quite different.
They're different, but they're still about cannoning in. So if they're making it now more legislated. If you cannon in, we can pin you for unruly, where it used to just be about the physical, if you contacted their head or not. Yeah, where now they're leaving themselves a bit more wiggle room, but
because that's a big thing that happened. Angus Brayshaw,
because
retired from the game over the break. So he had to force retirement from concussions and whatnot.
Yeah, and should we raise a glass to his career? I mean, bloody good player, Brayshaw.
Yeah, great player.
Really was. Doesn't deserve to go out, And if he gets through that game without that contact, I mean,
some water.
He plays another 5 years minimum of footy. He's 28 or 29, I think.
I think it was 30.
Maybe just pushing
or
30.
Just almost 30, something
and
like that.
Definitely has a handful of years left in footy. And
cut short.
Yeah, he's a story that's hopefully Melbourne really rally for him this year. Just not for him, but just for as in the legacy of him, and just battle hard for the boys, because he was a real fighter and a real trooper, and he's put his body on the line there.
Yeah, he'll be hard missed.
Real sad story in footy a bit there with Brayshaw.
There's been a few sad stories in footy over the
there's many, but it's a real big one, and it's I feel for him.
Yeah.
And, go the D's a little bit,
We'll see how they
got their backs up against the wall with how's old Clary Oliver? Looks like he'll play.
Yes, well,
they're talking. They'll pick him.
That is, we'll see how that goes. Really, it's sort of like
I think he's done the work. They go, he's there. Well, we can pick him, so they're leaning towards picking him. And
addiction is a terrible beast. We'll see how he goes. Hopefully, he does well.
Look, you don't know a lot about the story, and there's a lot that could also have happened in his life where you don't know. But they have kept very tight-lived the whole time, and. I think also kudos to him for doing the work to get back to where he is, because sometimes some people can say that's enough or whatever, and they don't want to do another journey to get back to the top elite, and he's really pushed to no matter what.
And I keep referring to it as a complex hammy. It's
a very complex hammy.
Only because that's what they were saying.
You know what I refer to him as?
That's what they were saying.
He's my Smokey.
Their original talking point before everything came out.
Complex hammies when you are doing a lot of drugs. So
he can have a complex hammy.
Weakens out soft tissues.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, and hopefully he can get his career on track and not ruin his legacy from this, because he has the opportunity to create a fucking legacy in this game and become a legend. But it's just how he goes about it. Yeah, I know you don't agree, Rick. I know you don't agree.
He doesn't
play for the Doggies, so you don't like him that well. Yeah, I get it.
How's the Bont going to go
this
year?
He's not Bontempelli. Well, he's ranked number one midfielder.
No, he is, and I look forward to watching him play. I love the Bont.
Bontempelli is my Smokey for a Brownlow.
Yeah. Smokey. So you don't think he's going to get it?
You know what?
Yeah, okay, all right, cool.
When Awful Footy smokies someone for a Brownlow, you're ruining.
They don't win. Yeah, we're ruining their thing. Bont's going to get suspended.
Good luck, Bont.
Bont's not that type of
player.
Nah,
he's a good player. The Bont.
Doggies are pretty dirty. They're pretty thuggish side.
I rate the Bont as my top favourite player in the competition. And I'm not just saying that as a blowy or a smoky. I have him.
Blowy.
No, because I put Cripps, Bont, and can't remember who the other person is right now, but I had 3 of them.
Lockie Neal.
No, maybe it was Petrarca, or I can't remember who the other third. But I sort of went bit slow. Cripps, not as not as athletic as the Bont. Bont number 1. He's the number 1.
Yeah, he's considered number 1.
I just feel
begrudgingly. Begrudgingly.
I think.
Who Who was my other one?
But he wouldn't be if Clayton Oliver was in top form all last year. He wouldn't have been.
Right there.
You'd be like, oh, Clayton Oliver's number one, of course. And he would have won the Brownlow and it would have been great. But no, he derailed everything.
I think the Bont's a good chance of winning the Brownlow this year. It's just, the competition's very tough out there, very biased. He was,
and it gets tougher every year.
He was very unlucky to not win it last year. So look, as long as he plays some good footy, I'm sure he will do just fine. And it's not about individual accolades.
No, it's not. And he does play good footy year round. So even if he's not the best, I'm sure he'll still be an asset.
Mate,
one of.
Pound for pound, he's the best.
Maybe you got Pendles.
Pound for pound.
You got Pendles, and
Fair
you got
enough.
the Bont. Who are you taking?
Mate. Oh, I'm taking the Bont all day,
every day of the
mate.
year.
Why would you take
Well,
I'm just saying. Or if you had Dacos, or you
Pendlebury
had the Bont.
or Pendlebury a couple of years ago when you retired.
Yeah, no, but the Bont, he just gets a bit more done, He just gets it done. Dacos or the Bont, you're definitely taking the Bont.
Yeah, well, hopefully his team will make the 8 this year.
Petrarca or the Bont, you're definitely
That'll be
taking
great.
the Bont.
And we can celebrate the finals properly with the doggies in there.
Yep, it's going to be an interesting September this year. Who else? How are we thinking about Carlton this year?
I don't know.
They're going to be one of the great watchers, aren't they? I mean,
Are they?
the expectation bar, if they don't make minimum the 4, imagine they don't make the 8. Oh,
I know it's just
Bossy.
a practice game, but we did see Melbourne versus Carlton, and I don't know, Carlton weren't looking too good.
Look, Carlton will rattle along, but geez, the pressure on them to perform this year, it's just stacked up, isn't it? It's like,
I'll keep stacking up.
if they didn't, Vossi, would he stay in Carlton Town for over 1 year? He's not a beloved son. They love their beloved sons there. And if this project doesn't work, he could get marched back to Queensland quicker than bloody I'm going up there next week.
Quicker than that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'd just be, let's go. So
For sure.
Of
course.
I'd hate to see a bad year for Carlton, but you'd think they'll have a good year. I'm backing them in to make the 8, but will they make the 4?
Mate,
I don't know.
You've been talking them up about making the granny for the whole off season, mate.
Next
Saints
year.
Carlton granny.
Saints Carlton granny. That's
now,
right.
Next year. This is the Saints.
And now you're flip flopping.
Oh,
We've already got one flip flop in
we got-
the group.
that
Need
spot's
2, thank
taken.
you.
No, this is the Saints here, mate.
Jeez.
So,
Alright.
but no, Carlton, they're going to be right up there. We know they are.
Do we, though? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just statistically with the players they got and the forwards and the...
Well,
they've
they
been
could
putting
be.
good numbers up there the last few years. I just
Yeah,
think
but I wouldn't have expected Geelong to not make the 8 last year.
Geelong, well, it's another good
I
talking
wouldn't have
point.
expected Doggies not to make the 8 last
They're
year.
another good talking point.
Saints, I was on the Saints bandwagon. Also, didn't make the 8 last
But
year.
we're talking about Carlton,
I'm talking about Carlton.
So
they
So
have
let's
the depth.
let's
and
not
then,
talk. Let's not talk about Carlton anymore because.
Yeah, let's go on to something else. Let's talk about Essendon being the underdogs this year.
No, so I was thinking more about Adelaide Crows. I reckon they'd be the smoky to make the top 8.
Oh,
the Adelaide
what,
Crows.
to make the top 8?
Just
It's
to
not really
make
a
the top
smoky. That's like,
Yeah, that's like-
they should
yeah.
make
Make
the
some
8.
finals.
Their
Finals footy,
expectation
they
would be to make the 8.
Mate, they were robbed last year. They should have been in there last year, but they
Yeah.
were robbed.
But they're not a
in that
smoky.
crucial
Like,
game,
what do you...
so-
Freo. Now, that's a smoky.
Nah.
Adelaide, they should make it. Freo, if they make it, I reckon that's a smoky.
What
because,
do you mean Adelaide should make it?
Oh, the Adelaide should make it. They've been building very well, Adelaide. I reckon they're pretty primed to make the 8.
They're not even the best team in South Australia.
Well, I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that they should make the 8 on trajectory that they've built last year. They probably could have made it, whatever. This year, their expectation to be well and truly to make the 8. I reckon. They're...
Yeah,
Freo,
I expect them in
That
that.
would be every team's expectation.
No, but let's
Make
put...
the 8.
I don't think
Alright.
North or Hawthorn are thinking that far ahead.
Alright, why don't we make an early season bet on the pod, and I'm going to go that Adelaide finish above Freo. Just comfortably. Like, as
Adelaide
in...
finish above Freo.
Yeah. Because
That's-
Freo...
Yeah, I
I'd make-
guess. Like that's
I'd
pretty,
say that as well.
Yeah, I reckon that's going to happen probably as well. But then again, anything can surprise us.
No, yeah, I just think that the pod will confirm that it's like all for footy's in that Freo You know, as much as we love them, and we have many a mate out there that go for Freo, good g'day to them all, that, you know, I just think they might struggle a bit this year in the comp, but also, I don't know, I wish them well.
Yeah, fair
they
enough.
can play bloody good footy.
Let's mirror them and then talk about Port.
Jeez, we're really pushing the clubs around here.
Well, I think we should. I think we should touch on just about every club and what we think of them for the year. Because Port, they were up there last year.
Oh, they're going to
I said last year at the
again.
start they needed to make top 4.
They'll win a lot of games.
Hinkley's job was, in the mix, and
they made top 4.
They did. They signed him on again, but you know what? Realistically, a pass mark last year for Port Adelaide would have been making the grand final. You know what I mean?
And they probably should have.
And they fell short yet again. So, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Port Adelaide this year to perform and make the make the grand final. So watch that space. You know, they have a few bad weeks. At the start like they did last year.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'll go a bit doubtful going into facing them. That's for sure. So yeah, excited to watch. And I just want to bring up. Look, I really hope Essendon get up there this year. I was shocked to see that they're the team in the competition that's gone the longest without winning a final game.
How are you shocked? We've been talking that up for years.
It's insane. They haven't won a final since, in 20 plus years?
It's since they moved to Etihad.
Neither is... Gold Coast haven't won a final either.
Yeah, but they haven't been around for that long either. So that's a big contributing factor.
Even GWS have made, consecutive finals campaign.
Yeah.
So, and especially with the big move of Dimmer up there, will they finals this year?
Yeah, I don't think
the
so,
Gold Coast
and win a final, whereas Essendon,
do you know
doesn't look good for them.
Can I just chuck a couple of teams on you guys that we haven't just digressed against this year? Is Collingwood and Brisbane contenders, or are they grand final blues?
Absolutely.
Geelong and Sydney both didn't make the finals the year after, or both didn't make the grand final.
That's true. But I still think Collingwood's a contender just because of how much talent they have.
You can't help but think they're both contenders. I mean,
and Brisbane, you're always worried about Brisbane at home. And they didn't do too bad at the G.
You are. I mean, if you're not.
But you're not. And they didn't do too bad at the G last year either. So if they can keep that momentum going, or even holding strong, they're certainly going to make the 8. But they need to drop a fair bit.
Collingwood aren't going anywhere. I mean, they're just going to be ruthless this year. They're just going to play the same game style. Just hungry all year. They're going to win a lot of games.
I feel like
they're going to push the top 4.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if they also get overrun by a number of other teams that are just stepping up. These things wane.
I.e. the Gold Coast?
Maybe, possibly.
Under Dimmer? How do we see the Gold Coast pushing?
What do you reckon, Rick?
I just spoke to him. Spoke about him. No, didn't say how to go though. It's tough to say. It's good to say. I don't think they're going to make finals this year.
No finals again.
No, won't be in the top.
I mean, they've pushed.
They've pushed. Dimmer been up there, 3-time premiership coach. Yeah. But I still just don't think they've got the cojones.
Now that we got most of the AFL teams out of the way, how are the Moorabbin Kangaroos shaping up for this season? More importantly,
I think before we move on to Moorabbin Kangaroos, we've got to talk about St Kilda. Where are you finding St Kilda?
We all know where St Kilda's at.
Jesus Christ!
We all know where St Kilda's at.
He's got the hat and the scarf. He doesn't want to talk about St Kilda.
Mate,
what the fuck?
There's many people. There's many people out there. The people of the likes of Paddy and I don't know, just all the Saints supporters out there that know that we're going to have a good year this year.
Grand finalists.
But it doesn't matter if we don't win the granny. Doesn't matter because we're Saints and we're good people. That's all that matters.
Well, hang on. Just you can't go throwing out lies.
No, but that's it. And that's all we hang our mantra on. So then at the end of the year, as long as we win a few games, we're like, that was good.
Okay, good. I'm happy you've got low expectations.
Well, that's all. I mean, we're used to that.
You've set your expectations low. You can only be impressed.
Make the odd final, you know.
Yeah, well, St Kilda Carlton grand final. That's what's happening.
I'm expecting it. Maybe next year. Maybe not this year, but next year.
Not in 2024. That's for sure.
Yeah.
St Kilda Carlton grand final. It will be. You watch.
All right. Well, do you want to talk about doggies a bit, then, Rick?
Just hold on one sec.
Okay.
I will place a bet with you that it will not be St Kilda Carlton grand final.
No, we don't want to take your money though.
No, mate.
Put
Me
a
and
nice,
Rick.
put a nice slab on it.
No, me and
Well,
Rick.
we know the
Slab on
future.
it.
No, we like to make our traditional bet is over a home cooked chicken schnitzel.
All right. Well, you know what? I cooked you one for free the other night. I'll cook you another one
Wasn't for free.
if I lose. But actually,
That was a long-standing bet.
So I will happily cook you a parma or a schnitzel home cooked if I lose, but I won't lose.
And I'll look forward to that one if the Saints and Carlton play in a granny and I'm coming to yours for a schnitzel.
Oh, mate, and when they're not, I'm coming to yours for a steak. I want a steak.
Oh
no,
God.
schnitzel. We made a deal
No.
for a schnitzel.
This is a
I want
terrible
the
bet.
steak, mate.
This is a terrible bet. What should happen is, if it's not St Kilda Carlton, you get a schnitzel. If it is St Kilda Carlton, you're on like fucking 10. Like,
No,
what's
just
this
one.
1-to-1 odds? No. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
No, I just want that one schnitzel.
It's not good enough to me.
No, nothing's ever going to be good enough for you. You don't even eat schnitzel.
Definitely St Kilda versus Carlton
You
grand
don't
final.
know. You don't know what I eat.
I know
But
you're
yeah.
a vegetarian, so
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
you don't eat schnitzel.
There's plant-based schnitzel out there, but we don't need to talk about that.
Did anybody manage to get to any of the pre-season games just to catch a bit of form?
Well, I watched them. I didn't go.
I went to the Doggies Hawks game.
Oh, did you?
Popped down to the Collingwood North. Got to a bit of the Richmond Melbourne one. And I watched
Where
the
was it?
reserves for that too. So I saw a handful of them actually live. I watched
Yeah, okay.
pretty much.
Did you
watched
fly
the rest
down
of
or
them
take the
all
boat?
too. Sorry,
Did you fly down or take the boat
we flew down
to watch
for
the Doggies Hawks?
Mm,
Yeah,
flew
yeah,
down.
nice
Yeah.
40-minute flight, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I got to go with the team actually because of the all
All for footy. Yeah, we foot the bill.
chicken and a biscuit. We all
There's
went
sorts
in
of
a big. It was a
promotional
big
deals that we
day.
do. Yeah, it's we're a pretty big deal.
45-minute flight. I must admit, 3 stubbies on the way. Don't even remember the flight. But, and then, buddy, we're dicking around at the airport on the way home and accidentally kicked the footy on the roof of the airport when we were leaving. You wouldn't read about it. And
No, I wouldn't read about it because nobody would write about it.
they wouldn't let us get it off because we were just bumming around this little footy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so all that happened down in Tassie. Good people down in Tassie though. When you stay there and you watch a game and it's a real fun little town. Always good to go and watch the cricket
beautiful.
in Tassie. as
I
well.
like the weather in Tassie. But
At
anyway,
this time of year, it's beautiful.
did we hear today about the Tasmanian Devils?
Oh, the
Football
19th team.
The 19th team?
Oh,
Yes.
that's Devils.
Did nobody heard about this today?
I have heard
No.
much about it. Yes, yes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty-
Enlighten it.
They're going to be wearing green. They're going to be called the Tassie Devils. And that's it. That's all I know. I didn't read into it further.
It's them saying that the
Did they
team's
have
going
to-
ahead, stadium or no stadium. We're doing the team.
Did they have to buy the name off Disney?
Well,
No, sorry,
apparently
not
they had
Disney,
to have
Warner
deep
Brothers.
meetings, and I reckon it's interesting with the Marvel connection and the fact that they got the Disney connection with the name and the new stadium, and they could strike up a big sponsorship thing there, and the fact that it was publicised, that the fact they had to meet with Disney, like you'd think you'd keep a lot of the legalities
Did they
in
really?
the background, but they made a mention of the note that. So yes, a bit of byplay there, wasn't there, Rick? A very big pickup by you there that you noted that.
Yeah, no.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because they owned the trademarks. So.
Well, because the dollars are relevant in these situations, and I feel like by noting the name Disney in the spiel, it will carry on with the next part of the conversation anyway.
Well, just so you know, Disney don't own Marvel.
No, they don't own anything at the moment, or to do with the Tassie Stadium, but it was just interesting that they had to note them in the buy comments. As in, by the way, the AFL spreads their wings into these huge corporations now. Yeah, so it's very good. It was very smart by the AFL I believe.
Fair enough.
Yes,
fair enough.
well played.
Well, before...
And Bugs Bunny has always been my favourite
Yeah,
dude. I mean.
Sure, absolutely.
I still play.
Yeah, I never see you in
And
Karen.
Roadrunner.
I've
I
never
put
seen you in Karen.
Roadrunner on the other day, literally.
Oh, that reminds me. Do you know there was a movie that got canned by Warner Brothers that was meant to come out this year? It was all about... it was called Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. It was a legal movie where Wile E. Coyote was suing Acme. And it was like one of those like Roger Rabbit situations where it was like an animated Wile E. Coyote.
Was
in
it a
the real
45-second skit?
No, it was going to be a full movie. And they ended up canning it so they could save more money on their taxes.
Well,
if I was
well played.
Wiley, I'd do the same because they kept exploding on him. Everything exploded on him.
Nothing worked. Nothing worked. But yeah, no, that would have been a good movie. But oh well, we'll never get it now.
Meep.
Hate that. But anyway, any other teams we want to talk about, Rick?
Oh, Celtic. Yeah.
No. We're talking about football.
Up the hoops.
The Dogs, mate, gonna have a good year. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna make the finals this year. So
Any doubts?
where they're gonna? Nah, no doubt.
Who have
No
you got
doubt.
higher, Nathan?
See, this is the bias. The
Adelaide?
doggy's bias that Rick has.
Who have you got higher, Adelaide or the Dogs?
I'd say the Dogs, but
Ooh.
I feel like I do have doggies bias within me because my good friend Rick Parker
No, I get it.
goes for the Doggies, and I want him to be happy. And what's the best way for him to be happy? Doggies performing well.
Do you remember how I tipped the Dogs to finish 17th last year, and what they finish in the end, like fucking 13th?
They didn't do too well, unfortunately.
So
Saints didn't either, so I wouldn't be talking, unfortunately.
at least
I
I,
feel like I was
predicted
the
them to
only
finish
one-
7th, and we finished 7th. So
Only one connected to the pod that actually had a team that made
the only thing I'm going to win
and
this
then
year.
we lost in straight sets.
The only thing I'm going to win this year on the pod is the ladder predictions. I'm going to ladder predict the comp this year, and I've found an anomaly to help me with the statistic. I'm not going to reveal it to you guys, but I've found one.
You're saying that word wrong, anomaly.
No, I found like a stat that kind of
Okay.
is giving me the ladder for this year. So based off the preseason stats last year,
Yeah,
it's almost like a what's the modern day
Cheat
thing
sheet.
at the moment? No, like data.
data resource management. I can't help
of
it.
a sudden, Reeve-
kept getting lost for words, but
Can't help it.
All of a sudden, he's gone all Rain Man on us.
yeah, I found my own.
Man, I've been looking. I saw this stat. It popped out at me.
I found my own data resource.
Did you just make a Rain Man reference? I love that.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm just trying to sell you on when you hear my ladder prediction next week,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're all
yeah.
going to give our ladder predictions.
We're doing our
next
ladder
week.
predictions next week, that's for sure.
That mine will be one to follow.
Oh, here we
Yes,
go.
yes.
Well, we'll get to that next week.
We'll follow and laugh at it.
But yeah,
my stats could be very wrong, but I'm going to follow. They were in the Herald Sun today, so.
Other than that, I think there's a few more teams that we should absolutely touch on. I think Geelong being one of them. How do you guys see falling,
Do we need
Improving?
to touch on Geelong?
I think staying par to last year.
staying part of last year, so
Yeah.
still not making the eight?
I don't see them breaking back in. I think they're going to do a Carlton of the late 80s into 90s and have a huge year of a lot of premierships and then just go bleak into the dynasty.
Well, did they lose anybody over the break?
It doesn't matter. They're too old, too
It does
slow.
matter,
And they
'cause-
hanged on and they won that one with Selwood. But since they've lost Selwood, they're just, that's it. The era is gone with their players. Hawkins, you know, with the last brimming of that dynasty of player. I mean, they're just back to the field and
You reckon
I mean,
they're
look,
just
I'm
run
not-
of the mill?
I'm not writing them off as a club. I just don't think they're going to get back to winning flags. You know what I mean? I just think Selwood ground out that last premiership for him. You know, he was in
What do you
there.
reckon, Chris Scott and Coach Watch, eh?
Nah, but it's hard. I just think that, you know, I don't know. That's my vibe, and it's also half my hope. But you know, for some reason, I heard someone talk about Carlton and the way they got to the '95 flag, and then they ground so much out of that club over that period, and they lost the last bits of what was the '80s and I go, it takes a toll, and it takes a generation to burn back through. You know, look, you know, good luck to them.
Yeah,
But
well, we'll see. So you're essentially saying they're in the dumps and they need to build.
well,
themselves
the
back up.
comp's fucking. It's a tough comp these days. You
Yeah,
know?
it is
And that
tough.
top 8, you know, unless you Yeah, it's a bloody tough top 8. So
Yeah, and
you
I
know,
feel
more
like
teams miss than make
comparing
it.
the teams today to the teams of old. And
Nah, but
those
I just-
patterns.
yeah,
I don't
I
think
just-
that's
I just
right.
think
'cause the game's
last
so
year,
different now.
last
There's
year
a
was the proof.
up skill level compared to back then as well.
It is, isn't it?
You know
It's-
what? I want to know what the listeners think.
I don't want
So
to know. What
It's a
listeners-
quality
this-
comp.
This
Like,
is going out to the listeners. Get onto our Facebook page.
Get
write
onto
us
our
a message.
YouTube.
Come in for a
Get
pod
onto
if you want.
Absolutely, we're on YouTube for the first time this year as well. So get out there, comment on, let us know
all those supporters out
who
there.
you think's going to make the grand final, and who your Smokey is.
Who's your Smokey? And when we say Smokey, we mean your certainty. So, just to be clear,
certainty, or who are you going to molest
Your
for
Smokey's
not winning?
not your certainty, mate.
Smokey is your certainty.
Well,
Clear. That's a bit. You never know.
Well, we're going to give our ladder predictions next week, and we're going to
that'll
give
be
our
good.
say Brownlow medalist Coleman.
Yeah, we'll do our predictions.
We'll give all our predictions, so we'll give as many as we can next week.
And
So
then
if
we'll-
you
yeah.
during the week, if you want to chuck in any predictions onto our Facebook page, just chuck them on there. We'll air them next week.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our regular fans. I mean, who's some of Mickey B? Doesn't miss an episode. Used to come in for the episodes. Now has
Family
a handful
man.
of excuses. No,
Yeah, family
don't
man.
say family man. It's just a handful of excuses.
Yeah.
But who else we got out there? Mr.
We
Mr.
don't need to go
Fauna,
through all our fans. Like we'd be here all night.
all the dedicated fans.
But yeah, send through your ladder predictions as well. Play along with us if you want. Halfway through the season, we will revisit it, and there'll be an option to move a couple of teams from their places in the ladder positioning.
So if you give a legit top 8
And
and,
then,
you have the best one, so we'll enter you into
No,
our
it's not
comp.
just top 8; it's all.
The whole ladder. All right.
Yeah, and then as we get halfway, we'll revisit it again, and we'll move 2 teams we can move, and then we'll play it that
Ooh,
way.
I like it.
Put a little bit of strategy into
Very
it.
good.
Let's go.
I'm going to win that over the tips. I mean,
I don't think
the
you're gonna win
tips. I
either.
might win the tips too, but I mean,
I
I'm
don't
going to
think you're gonna win either.
I'm going to sit down during the week and make sure my ladder is.
So will I. And I will
Make
win.
sure, Brisbane making the grand final. I reckon Brisbane.
No, I've got Brizzy 4th to 3rd.
Carlton Saints.
4th and 3rd, Brizzy somewhere in there. Definitely top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
well.
got Saints 5th, 5th or 6th.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of surprises, as there always is.
Yeah.
As there always is. And at least it's not one team dominating the comp. It
I
can
think
go
the
in any
Giants.
direction.
I mean, the
really.
Giants really. I can't see them not having a solid year. They're just going to be real competitive all
I can't see
year.
them having a solid
They found their
year because they haven't won a flag
mojo.
yet.
They flicked a bit of a switch with their game style. They're just, even if they lose a handful, well, good on them. But if they win those handful, they're just going to be right in that mix.
Yeah.
They're right there to be a competitive team. And what a comp it'll be. I mean,
Yeah,
well, good luck to everyone out there.
And of course, the stragglers down below, West Coast, Hawthorn, North, we'll keep an eye on them, see if they can turn things around.
See, I feel like the Hawthorn supporters
yeah.
would have something to say about that.
No, they perked up at the end of last year, but they've still got a lot to prove.
They do,
They
but I
haven't
just-
proven it yet. They've shown potential. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're very right. They're like they're a young gelding just coming out of the gates, and they're just they don't quite know which way the line is, but they're just running, and they're kind of.
Yeah, they're just doing their thing.
But maybe they came out of the Maccabi Diva stables, and they're just once
angry.
they find their straps, Jeez, they're always watching out. Hawthorn, aren't they? They're,
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
well,
tell you
the-
what, though, I'm excited for this week.
Excited for this week. So with that, we shall move past opening topic and move into the next segment, which is footy tipping results.
results
Now,
again.
As you guys know,
I feel like you had all the finals to rub this in.
I won last year. I won the tipping comp last year, guys. Did you know? Did you hear that?
Oh, right.
Yeah, cool. So, just a reminder. All right, let's move on to the next segment. This week's games.
I'll give you a clap. I mean, well done.
Thank you, Rick.
It
clap.
is good to win
Thank
the
you.
tips, and if you
Thank
won,
you,
Rick,
thank
you would be happy. You'd be like, Where's my clap, bitch?
I'm milking it for as long as I can.
Yeah, well done.
As long as I can.
I must
And
admit.
today's it. That's
And
it.
this will be the last time you ever win footy tips in your life. So, actually, congratulations.
Don't be doing that shit, Rick.
No, well done. Actually, well done. Genuinely well done.
Did you ever notice what Rick was doing?
This part, yeah. Oh, I saw the hearts go up, or the thumb
No,
up.
it was a clap. It was clapping. But yes. No, thank you. I will hold on to it forever. And no one will ever be able to take it away from me. So, yeah, first game of round 0. Just before I start, round 0, what do you guys reckon? Good idea? Bad idea?
It's not round 0, it's round O, because it's O for opening.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, do you want
Get with it.
Get out of here, alright? Get out of here.
That's why it says OR when you go onto the app, because it's the opening round.
Okay, is that your input that you want to put in for this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to point out you can't have a 0 round. So that's why it's O.
Alright, Raby, you head in the game?
I am always in the game, bro.
What was your final say on 0 round?
Wait, are we going for tips here, or?
I'm just telling you, what's your opinion on them introducing this new process, this new thing?
Do you want my political opinion or my honest opinion?
I don't want any political opinions out of you. Just give an opinion. Just
So
say
my
something.
honest opinion
you can
is
make
it
a joke for all I
stinks.
care.
No, well, it stinks, but
Yeah.
I get... So they've moved into a space where New South Wales have gone over to fucking Vegas for the NRL game, which, mind you, wasn't that a blast? And so they've decided that, well, since there's no bums on seats in New South Wales and Queensland for a week, let's go and play a round of footy there before we would even start the season anyway. So they're only spreading their wing in a window which was now just vacated by the NRL.
So it's all just business.
So you asked me not to get political, but that's really my honest answer on why.
Yeah.
It stinks, because why are they following what the fruit they do? But I get it, because now they've spread their wings. But what
Spread
they've
their
now
wings.
done is spread the season by 24 rounds instead of 23. And now they've got the extra week, so now they've added an extra 2-week period to the season by giving every team an extra bye, which means there's one extra game over 2 weeks to every team, and that's the way of AFL spreading a 2-week window further. So now it's actually only one game more, still like they promised last year with the 24-game window, but every team still gets the bye early in the year, which is almost an anomaly, because what happens when you come off a bye?
You lose.
So yes, let's the AFL. You're almost pissing in your own pocket eye
It's a weird
vibe,
yeah.
but I don't know. But that was my opinion to how that should probably be handled. That they've jumped on a shadow that's not worthy of jumping on.
Yeah,
It's about
I just-
growing the game in those northern states.
Well, I
That
get
is
it, but
bad.
as well, it's like it's the buy early now with shit. Like, where's the continuity for with, you know what I mean? Like, you want to start your year and you go, right, we're round 1, 2, 3, 4, we're into it. Soon as you start throwing everyone around with having a sporadic buy in the first 6 weeks, you know what it's like, Rick. Like, it's not to say it's whatever. You can move past it. It's not a big deal, but you've seen the rates when teams come off buys, and if a team starts losing 1 or 2 early in the year off a buy they shouldn't have dropped, you'll start going, I don't know, it's just a space to watch a little, but I feel like they've jumped on a shadow because the NRL made a move, and Peter V'landys, the NRL CEO, he's fantastic. He's taken the game to a new level. He's done something that's through the roof. Everyone's applauding him, but the AFL, can they be any quicker to jump on a shadow, effectively?
They didn't even have 40,000 people at the NRL in Vegas.
No, well, but it's still a hit. You know what I mean? And they're going to spread their wings through America.
Richmond
Well, then,
start, you know what I mean? Nah.
yeah, but it's an untapped area, America, and NRL's more suited to the rugby.
I don't think we're going to bust
We're
into
not-
America.
We're not here to talk.
No, we're not.
here
I'm
to
just
talk
saying
about
this is the
NRL
facts and the
We're here to
figures.
talk
No, we're not.
about AFL.
That AFL have almost overnightly jumped into the space because they've made a move, which is only going to make them a lot more money.
No, they haven't.
For now, I mean,
Let's-
anyway,
let's
I'm
not
just
get-
saying,
let's
it's
not
just
get too off track.
it's
but
just
yeah.
a place.
No.
So that's it.
Whatever
That's how I
rugby's
see
doing
it.
over there is not. going to affect the AFL.
Doesn't affect the AFL. I didn't say that in any way. What are you talking about?
So, can I get you to...
I talked about the AFL seeing a window for 1 second and just jumping on it like they do. They jump, which is good, very positive. Good on them. Not bagging the AFL. I'm just saying, that's
I
it.
get they're trying to spread the game. I get they're trying to spread the game into...
But they might almost do it to detriment of the odd team that almost has a bye and then on-off.
They needed to do it before the NRL season started, mate. The NRL season started already, so it's too late. Too little too late.
Good
You're
on them.
going up against, the NRL in those two states where it's, everyone plays NRL.
Yeah, but that's what the AFL's always done. It's a political environment. They just go up against because they think they have to. That's the whole concept of where it's stupid. When you really break it down, they should just go, no, where we think we're bigger, let's actually just do our own identity. They kind of coattail, so it's like, that's.
Hey, look, you're allowed to disagree, guys. Come on, the podcast is a platform for all voices. So with that, I'll move on.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, I know you don't know.
Effectively, what they're doing.
That's fine. Let's not go back and forth on it for too long.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It's
I'll just give my
business.
opinion. It's a bit weird. But
they just
whatever.
if the cricket did something, they'd worry about it. So
all right.
we
got it. Let's move on. But yeah, my opinion, it's a bit weird, but whatever. Alright, first game of round 0 at the SCG. It is Thursday night football. Sydney versus Melbourne. Raby, what do you got for me?
I am putting my early prediction on who I want to win the flag this year, and I'm making Sydney that team.
Oh, Jesus.
And that would mean that I am going to tip them to win round 1. 0.
Okay, alright.
I thought Carlton and St Kilda were going to make a grand final.
Nah, next year.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, next year, but plenty of time. There's plenty of time for all that. Don't worry about that. Sydney and my team to win the granny this year. I'm going to put it out there early in the pod.
No, you're talking shit, mate.
No, they're going to win it this year. You watch. Sydney will go all the way.
Alright, well, Rick.
Not to say just because
your name's not Rick.
Well, just to finish my tip, I'm saying not to justify just because of this tip, but as in, that was my, they've been my, pre-season predictor to win the flag.
Cool. Rick!
You done? Look, I've got it pegged as a nice tight game. Where has it been played? SCG.
SCG. All Sydney Brisbane home games.
Probably actually going to go out and say Melbourne's going to win this.
Ooh,
okay.
travel.
All right.
They'll play
I feel like that's a bold call.
I'm going to tip Melbourne.
You're going to play bloody.
I wish it wasn't, but I'd say it was a bold call.
It's going to be a hot game.
All right. I'm also backing Melbourne.
Ooh.
But I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable about it. Sydney at home off the bat? Yeah, no thank you. Alright, moving on to the next game. Friday, the 8th of March. It is at the Gabba. Brisbane versus Carlton. Raby.
So I know you don't like a long-winded story, so keep it short. And
as long as it doesn't go off rails and you start talking about yabbies or something.
No. So my best fishing friend, he used to go and catch a lot of yabbies.
This fucking guy.
My hot tip of the weekend is Carlton at the line. They're 22.5, and I feel like Brisbane will win this game. But to go 22.5, I think that's pretty rich. So, yes, I think Brisbane. But Carlton at the line.
Yeah, okay. So you think it's going to be a pretty tight game regardless?
Don't you reckon? You can't help but tip Brizzy, but you just... Yeah, 22.5.
So Carlton's in a weird spot where they could go either way. I could see their season not starting ever. But I could see them, rising up its ranks. I don't know. Carlton's a weird one.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying before.
At home?
And early in the year with Carlton.
It's hard to back Brisbane, but hard to go against Brisbane at home.
But they made the granny, and you got Carlton who are fresh, so it could work out the Carlton, especially with Carlton at the line.
Yeah.
So you come in Carlton. Effectively, what I'm saying is, I think Carlton could win. Because I'm going safe by saying Carlton at the line, and I think I'm seeing that.
Yeah, well, that's close. That means you think Carlton have a shot.
Maybe that's
at
what I
least.
think. I'm thinking.
Well, let's not go crazy, because that's how you end up losing the tips.
No, well, I won't tip them. I'll definitely be tipping Brisbane. But yes, Carlton at the line is my hot tip of the weekend. When we get
Brisbane
round.
for me.
Brisbane?
Brisbane for Rick. Rick's just fired out. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to back Brisbane as well. Brisbane at home, hard to go past, especially with their current form of the end of last year. I guess it's not really current, but yeah, look, these opening rounds, they're very interesting, and they lay out the land of what could potentially be the rest of the year. So
They do.
yeah, we'll just wait and see. All right, we'll move on to the next game quickly. Saturday, 9th of March at Heritage Bank Stadium in the afternoon is Gold Coast versus Richmond. Reeby.
So I'm really intrigued in this battle. I hear Dusty mightn't be playing.
Dusty might not be playing. Damn.
Yes, he's going to be a late withdrawal. They're saying, I mean, he's going to miss one of the two games against Carlton. They have a 5-day break, Richmond, between the Gold Coast to the Carlton game with the travel back home. And so he's a concern. I mean, he's almost a tip changer, isn't he? You feel like Dusty out, you might tip the Gold
Is Dusty even that good?
I think
these
I'm going
days?
Gold
I
Coast.
don't know,
I'm
Dusty's
all
getting
in
old.
Gold Coast. It's up there. They've got to get it done round one, don't they? As much as Richmond are going to give this for their full attention. Yeah, I'm going to go Gold Coast.
Yeah, Gold Coast could do it. Richmond aren't that
They've had a
good.
big pre-season, the
Yeah.
Gold Coast, and their home conditions. And traditionally, you tip the Gold Coast in their home conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they come down here, they struggle a bit more. But up there, they seem to just get it done. So, yeah, I think I'll give them the merit. In round one, I'm giving them the tip.
Yeah, no, round zero.
Round
Rick.
zero.
Rick, who have you got?
I'm going Richmond.
Oh,
Okay,
upset.
Yeah, I'm going Richmond. I reckon they've still got some sort of kick about them. You know, they didn't do too well last year, but with Lynchy back in, I reckon it's at go time.
Yeah, it's go time. All right, I'm back in Gold Coast. I don't think it's go time for Richmond. As I said, numerous exes, a shit ex-friend. They all went for Richmond. They're all terrible people. Richmond, terrible people. I'm not bitter. Go on Gold Coast.
Yeah, $1.50 to $2.62. So, I mean, Gold Coast expected to win at home, but Richmond definitely in the battle. I mean, I think it's a good game, this one, isn't it? That's a real red-hot game. And Dimmer, I mean, he's up there with the new cattle. So, yeah, I really look forward to it with, what's the Richmond coach's name again?
Don't even know. Let's move on. Hardwick, isn't it?
No, they got
No,
new
they-
coach.
No, you're talking about
God, I'm so off the mark. Who's...
The guy who used to play for Port, Kingsley.
no. Yeah,
Uze?
no, it's not. It's
No.
it's
Uze.
Uze, Adam Uze.
Kingsley.
It's one of the legends of the game, Uze. How'd I get there before you
King's up
guys?
at- he's up at GWS.
I was just pretending.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next game. I'm sure it'll be close. I'm back in Gold Coast team, so fuck Richmond. At Giant Stadium,
Oh, this is the big one, this.
Saturday night, football returns. GWS versus Collingwood. Who do you reckon, Reeves?
I have put all my tokens in the Giants here. I just think early in the year, Collingwood don't have their system up and about, and I just see Giants being bloody hungry and up and about and really pushing Collingwood in this. So, yeah, they're coming in favourites. They're actually the $1.67 favourites, which I thought it might have been the other way. But, I just still think they'll really push Collingwood here, and Collingwood are going to get a real four-quarter challenge. So, yeah, good luck to the Pies. But, I mean, the Giants, they've still got to get it done, and, good luck to them too.
Good luck to them too. All right, Rick.
Absolutely.
They're a good game of footy, this. It's a good round.
I'm on the Premiers, mate. You can't.
The
tip
Premiers lose round one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a thing.
But it's hard to tip against them in round one.
It is.
They're the
Yeah.
Premiers. They're the only team to have won their last game. Like, really?
Stats say.
So no, absolutely. I'm going Collingwood all the way, especially against the Giants. Like, Giants are a good side. I watched a few of their practice games through the off season, and they looked really two working well together. But in saying that, Collingwood, they're premiers. You just can't go past it, and just the way that they played their footy last year was something to be amazed about, because they did really well. When you were down, you'd always knew that they'll come back in that last quarter, and they did it just about every week.
They did, didn't they?
So I'm going to tip them to beat the Giants.
Hey, good luck.
Yeah. I'm going to back Collingwood. It's hard to back against the grand final winner, as I just said. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But at GWS, I wouldn't be surprised if GWS get up. I would not be surprised. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but like I just don't think they've got the skill to beat the premiers.
Yeah. No, well, fair enough. Alright, well, with that, we shall move on from this week's games. Rick?
Beautiful.
Farewell.
I am going to tip the cap to you fellas. I have to run off. I've got a very important meeting down at the Whitten Oval.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got to run off, and you guys have a great weekend, and I'm sure to post my sports bet multi up onto the group.
Can
for,
you
you guys all to see.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell Danny Southern that we're thinking of him, and ask him if he can give us an autograph on the back of the chicken and a biscuit box
On the
next
back
week?
chicken and biscuit.
Yeah, here, can you
No worries.
Here, can you take it with you? Yeah, I'll just pass it over to you. Yeah. Beauty. There you go, mate. Yeah, just chuck it down there, yeah, mate. Yeah, just on the ground. Yeah, and just
All
get
right,
him to sign that. And next week, when we come back, we'll have a Danny Southern signed chicken in a biscuit box. How good?
Hopefully.
Because he's at the meeting
Hopefully.
tonight,
If
isn't he? We got Rowan Smith.
No, he's a different meeting, mate. I don't know who you're meeting with. But anyway, look, I'm going to go, fellas. So happy tipping, and we're excited for the round to come. So have a good night. Love yous all.
No worries. Catch you, man. Have a good one. Bye. All right. Well, Raby, that leaves us
It does.
with whatchamacallit? The thing, the sports bet.
Oh, sports bet.
of the week. Our good friends at Sports Bet. I haven't put a bet down since
I've
the
put
grand
mine
final
down.
last year.
I've put mine down. Do you want me to go first so you have a minute?
Oh no, I said I haven't used Sports Bet since the grand final of last year.
I'm sure you haven't because you don't follow cricket.
I don't follow any other sport.
So
other than
if you
AFL.
didn't follow
AFL is
golf-
my passion.
On the
Every other sport,
weekend,
fuck off.
Shane Lowry, good golfer, got a top 10.
So you say.
Yeah, but he didn't quite win the tournament, did he? But he aided the financials by getting a top 10.
Yeah.
But in between, so we have the sports bet multi of the week to get on. If everybody just wants to take the basic footy legs combined with a couple of NRL games, because I've only got 2 NRL hot tips for you this week. My first one is New Zealand at home. They're playing Cronulla. It's early in the year. It's in New Zealand. They just get it done over there. And the other one is the Gold Coast, both playing St George Illawarra up in the Gold Coast. Both playing $1.50. You just have them in your multis, right? Then you swing over to the AFL and you have over the match points in Melbourne versus Sydney. You don't touch the head-to-head. It doesn't matter who wins. It's 164. I mean, it's early in the year. They're going to score. That's only 82 apiece. A team can have 100.
Behinds. Melbourne are known for their behinds.
That's finals pressure, bruh. So, 164 over to start the round. I mean, that's pretty generous, I feel. Carlton at the Gabba, at the line, but over 162 as the double, gives you 330. So you have that into Melbourne, Sydney at the overs line, into the Gold Coast, into the Giants. So there's your 4 games with the 2 rugby legs, giving you a $41 power play. So we're just going to slip a lazy $50 on that, I reckon.
Lazy $50. $50
Yeah.
isn't lazy, bro.
That's nice. That's a good bet. And here we go. And next week we will report back whether we have $2,070 in my account.
Oh, well, please report back.
So yeah, no, good bet. I like that. I like that. I just made it up as I was going along, but
Yeah, fair enough, fair
Beautiful.
enough. Well, I have my first bet of the year, my first bet of the season. It is, get this. All right, so Brisbane head-to-head, Gold Coast head-to-head. And even though I did tip Collingwood, GWS head-to-head.
oh yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, Melbourne to win.
Yeah, against Sydney. They should play bloody well the days.
Yeah, and Van Ruin kicked 2 or more. I was really impressed with his practice games and how he was performing, and it looks like he's actually filled out a bit as well.
Yeah,
So-
Van Ruin. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he does this year with that crowd. Van Ruin him.
Yeah, well, they're not booing him. They're Van Ruin.
Wow, if you're in the opposition and he goes up and does something wrong, you're pretty quick to give him a Ruin.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know.
you know, he'll get both ends of it this year.
I
Van
just
Ruin.
think, look, he was a young kid last year. I think, he came in 2 years ago or something. And he
Oh,
came
he's a
in as
good
young
player.
kid, and it was like,
Good
oh yeah,
player.
potential.
Bloody
But
good
yeah,
player.
he looks bigger. Than
I
he
think
was
an
last
interesting
year,
watch
so-
for Melbourne this year will be Bowie.
Yeah, we'll see how he does.
Because he's a good kid and a good player and he keeps holding his spot. But if they go anywhere, you know, he's one of those players that probably in a stronger side could fringe a bit. So I feel like he's a monitor. I don't know why I thought of that a few weeks ago. I just felt like, you know, if you're really going to be a bloody... and he could also move forward with his expectation and become a bloody good player.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a real one to watch, you know, like see how his year goes, to watch how Melbourne goes, you know, and if he's stringing along getting his 18 games and getting his role and kicking 16 to 25 goals this year, I just don't see Melbourne being a top 4 team. You know what I mean?
Well, we might not
And
be.
he plays a bit of back
might
pocket, and don't get me wrong about him as an individual. It's not his fault, but he's, you know, yeah. But I'll watch on with Melbourne. I mean, there's St Kilda's line in the
Please
sand. We'll never forget it. They're always
Yeah.
combating with Melbourne. We always
Oh,
want to watch you guys just
It's
go down a
St.
little bit.
Kilda are winning the flag this year, or in the grand final
Like a
this year.
dagger to you. Be like,
They're going to be taking down Melbourne, that's for sure.
well, we hope.
But yeah, but also on top of that, Clayton Oliver get 25 and more disposals, and Christian Petrarca to get 25 and more disposals. So you know,
It's early in the year to be putting on
hoping. 25
plus. I mean,
well, do you know what?
you can so easily have a 15 and play a good game.
It's a bet because it's a risk. All right.
No,
And that's what a
but
risk is.
once the season gets going, you know, you 25s, but I think early 20s is like more like that's like a 30. Just to give you a little heads up.
Oh, thank you for the heads up.
Because you might
Mr.
get
Reedy.
someone who gets 10 minutes a quarter bench time or something, and they're not going to get the 25s, which is high. Right?
Yeah, could happen.
Especially with someone like Oliver coming back.
Especially with somebody with a complex hammy. Yep, absolutely.
Very complex. I mean, if that hammy wasn't as complex as a hammy gets, I wouldn't know what a complex hammy is. Because that is one complex hammy.
I don't think you do know what a complex hammy is. Anyway,
Do you
So
know
I
what
put-
a complex night sleep is? It's when your name is
I think you need a kid.
Dan
for that.
Andrews, right?
Let's not. No, don't get political.
And
No, shut up. No,
you're-
not interested in any
No,
political take from
I just
you.
want to give you some numbers for a sec, okay?
Oh God! All right, whatever.
So on his pay bracket, when you would dare say he gets paid 24/7 because he gets a yearly salary, so you go, you're on call, because he's commented before how this, you know, I need a he had a break, remember? Because he was like,
I'm not involved in any
I'm
of this
24/7 on call. This is tough. So when he sleeps, from that period to that period, he makes $2,000 for an 8-hour period of sleep. Should the taxpayers be paying up to $2,000 for him to be allowed to sleep? What gives him the right to be able to sleep? He should be awake during all those periods, earning that extra $2,000. Do you get paid $2,000 a night to sleep?
I'm not a politician.
On $500,000 a year, when you do the numbers, $2,000 an 8-hour period to sleep. I mean, he gets paid $4.20 a minute. If he takes a poo that takes 2 minutes, he's paid $8.40. I mean, but some people,
It's politics. What do
Yes.
you mean? Politicians pay themselves a lot.
the
Yeah,
numbers
that's what they do.
interested me. The numbers interested me.
Yeah,
and when
well,
I thought of someone sleeping for $2,000 through the night, I thought,
John Howard's been
What
making
a-
money
not
as
a
well
bad
this whole
job.
time since he's been out of office. He's been getting paid by the taxpayers. It's politicians across the board. If you single out Dan Andrews.
no, I
yeah.
just would have liked to allow a lot of people out there to know
But anyway,
that
I don't want to talk
when
about political
he
stuff.
sleeps,
This is an
it
AFL
costs
podcast.
the taxpayer $2,000 a night for him to sleep. So people should get more vocal about don't let the man sleep. He should be working harder for his dollar. We all work hard for our
But just
dollar.
Daniel Andrews, not the other politicians that
Let
also
him
get
sleep.
paid.
They need sleep.
You're a piece of shit.
No,
Let's
he's a
move
good
on.
fella. And
Let's move
apparently,
on.
good
Let's move
golfer.
on. I don't care.
Apparently, doesn't get to play at many courses.
He's irrelevant. Who
But
cares?
he
Politician.
is a
He's
good
nerd.
golfer, and I would let him play at Rostel. So if anyone's listening,
Well, let's move on from that little side tangent because I actually wasn't finished with my bet, baby. So I put $10 down on my multi that I listed 10 minutes ago, and it's paying $16.03. So I'm gonna get $160 bucks back, and then
starting off with a big one.
bro, the Carmies. If this gets up, Carmies,
Can we go?
we can go. So yeah, all throughout last season we joked about going to the Carmies and how we were never going to go, but we went over the break,
We did.
and you loved it.
It was very good.
So we,
The food was fantastic.
I don't think it'll be as hard to convince you to go to a
What was your
Carmies going
favourite
forward.
thing on the menu?
The edamame beans. I love edamame beans.
I loved the seaweed.
Oh, fair enough.
That was good seaweed.
Fair enough. If you
Well,
like
it was
seaweed,
very
you like
good.
seaweed.
And that chicken dish, but can't remember what it was called.
Well, with that, let's move into closing thoughts. Ready?
Oh.
Closing thoughts.
Well, maybe I could have saved the Dan Andrews spiel for my closing thoughts.
You
I
could
mean,
have, but you didn't.
You know, just to think about the amount of money one person makes when they sleep, it just kind of rattled me.
Well, a lot of people on like yearly salaries and whatnot, so technically they make money when they sleep as well.
no, so there's more than one.
Well,
Maybe.
some people have been like, oh, you have a 6-month contract to work
Yeah.
with us, and you get paid this much money in this time.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like you don't have hours that you have to hold to. You just have to do
I'd
the
like to raise a glass actually to Felipe Toledo, who has gracefully retired from the WSL, the
Oh,
World
really?
Surf League.
Fair enough.
He just won 2 world titles in a row, and he made comments that he felt like the tour was too easy, and he didn't want to win a 3rd in a row, effectively equaling such greats as Andy Irons and Okalupo. So
That's
he
weird.
decided to not contest in this year's World Tour.
No. Pussy.
But it's also been noted of pulling out of such competitions when the swell was said to be super huge. So there's a lot of controversy right now around Felipe Toledo's pull-out to the tour. But he's out. Just to give you, I've been on Sportsbet to check. He's not on the Sportsbet. He's officially pulled out of this year. He is the reigning champion, world champion. But they have moved the WSL to Trestles, which is in America, which is quite a mundane surf break. It's not a very big one, and it's not very powerful, and doesn't offer a lot of opportunity. Hence why he's been able to win the world title the last 2 years, and people are bagging the system for moving it to why it's even got a final instead of just being the season.
Sounds like a big controversy in the world
And so
of
he's
surfing.
bowed out, which is because Kelly, I mean, he's won 10. You know, like, why wouldn't you just keep going and be like, I'm fucking win 10 of these things?
Oh no, you keep going. It's a silly thing that he's doing, but whatever.
So it's a really watch this space moment in surfing at the moment because good old Felipe, he's just decided this year I won't. Not going to contend. I don't want to win 3 in a row.
decided to
I feel like
sabotage
if I
his own
won
career,
3, I would slap it in the face to those guys that really won 3.
No.
Was his almost comment. So I was like, clapping but interested, but like weird, modest. I was like, wait,
Modest.
is he being over modest or is he just not wanting to like ruin a sport? That, like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe he is the best. So I was really confused. But anyway, we'll watch and wait in the next few years.
Watch this space.
Yes, it's very
Yes,
interesting
fair
in the
enough, fair
surfing
enough,
at the
very
moment.
well,
But
very well.
the Mal crew, also just a shout out, everyone who represented this year, long summer, Mal crew.
No crew represent.
Fucking put up some good waves. We busted out there through some fucking windy, shitty days where no one even showed up, but we just still got out there.
Still got out there. We were out there. We were hanging
And
10.
like hopefully next year we get even more representation than we had this year.
Mate, look, we're a pretty exclusive group. We don't just accept anyone.
Well, we've still got like between 6 to 10 members
Yeah, no, we're
know,
going strong. you know?
dwindling around, but the 1, 2, 3 are like hierarchy.
We're like a decent gathering.
Yeah.
We're not a party. We're not a full party yet.
Yeah.
We're just a little gathering.
Yeah.
You know, that's all right.
As long as 1, 2, and 3 show up, doesn't matter. It's like BGA, you know, like
No, it's not.
doesn't matter if no one else shows up. As long as 1, 2, and 3 show up, and or just one of those 3,
Yeah.
or at least 2 of them. But then it doesn't matter about the rest. But if they show up, it's good.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's why you got to be an OG.
Fair. All right. Well, thank you very much for your closing thoughts, Red. So we'll move on to my closing thoughts.
Look forward to this.
Did you know the WWE was in Australia the other week?
In Perth.
In Perth.
Yeah.
Man,
I wanted
Optus
to go.
Stadium looked really good.
I was
Like,
spewing I couldn't get there.
yeah, you weren't interested, but still, that's a pretty big deal.
Was.
WA forking out all that money. To
So
get
nothing in
WWE
Melbourne,
down.
nothing in Sydney.
Melbourne's had one once or
Yeah.
before,
Oh, so
but
not,
that's
not
it.
on this tour.
No.
Yeah,
They
right.
just went to the WA. It was a big.
Shit.
It was a thing that the WA government tourism
Wow.
board did.
Because it's a big stadium there. It's like a kick-ass joint.
Like filled it like 52,000.
Go
So
the WWE.
yeah, no, it tore the house down.
And who is the big mainliners? Like, who's the big dogs at the moment?
Well, I don't even think they were there. I don't think Roman Reigns was there or The Rock. They weren't there.
Oh, The Rock's still a kicker. Is he like still?
He's
on
come
the-
back for
Yeah.
WrestleMania season. It's WrestleMania. It's
Oh.
Road to WrestleMania, bro. That's when
That's
everybody comes
20
out.
plus years of nostalgia right there. Like, is he
Yeah.
still on tour?
Oh no, it's
Not on
no,
tour
he hasn't,
full
he hasn't
time,
been.
but
No, he hasn't. Yeah,
But he would show
this
up
is
at
like
a
the
show.
first time in ages.
It's not like not even a thing anymore. He's like still.
He's come back for the few months
Yeah,
leading up to
okay,
WrestleMania.
yeah.
And then
So
he'll
it'll be in
probably go.
America.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But the road to WrestleMania, to
Imagine
stop
he
off
showed up in
WA,
Perth.
amazing. Oh, I reckon he should have. I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth,
Well,
but
that would have been too cool.
I wasn't following wrestling. I haven't been following wrestling enough to actually
Yeah.
know the details. of
I
that
bumped
stuff.
into Dwayne one time at a Coles in Elwood.
I don't think you did.
No, I did.
Or was it Dwayne, but it wasn't. The
He
Rock.
bumped into me, actually, should I
Okay,
say.
sure, fair enough.
But I didn't bump into him.
Well, anyway,
Nah, good fella.
There's a road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania season's about, so when WrestleMania comes along, I will stop talking about wrestling altogether.
Mate, fill us in as
But
much as you
but
can.
until then, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
Shit,
awesome.
yeah. And so, wait, is there an opportunity for yourself to get to a WrestleMania? Like, did you attempt to try and think to go? Nah.
Because if I were to go, I'd have to
Just
drop,
wait for the
like-
next Melbourne
I'd
one.
have to drop 5 figures.
You went to the last Melbourne one, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the first and last
True.
Melbourne
So
one.
you've been.
But I'd have to drop 5 figures at least to like have a comfortable WrestleMania experience overseas.
Go to the
you know.
show, stay somewhere nice, be there for a week or two.
You gotta, yeah, you have to
flights.
have the money. Yeah, it's a whole thing,
Mm.
and I'd want to do it big as well because I haven't gone overseas before.
If you're going to do that, you could have like gone to the D's granny and been like that bloke who flown it, went all the way. and
Yeah,
got
no,
locked
I
up.
wasn't going to be doing that. I had
Could have
work.
done all that. That would have
I had
cost like
work, I had to do
50k.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
Nah.
That
What was
would've
his
been
name?
terrible.
Oh.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Only a good character. He got
But,
made
yeah.
famous through his.
Yeah.
I reckon he revelled in
Foolish.
that because he has a restaurant. And he's-
Possibly it was a very big mistake because he lost a lot of money on it. But
I think
who
overall
knows?
he got reamed hard enough by the governments and that they made it like, no,
Well, they're like, hey,
you're not going to use this
you
as
can't
like a.
do this, get
Yeah.
fined, and then they make twice as much as the
Yeah,
fine.
and become like
We're
a
not
celebrity
allowed
guy.
it. Yeah, it's like, no, that's
Yeah.
incentivizing other people to do this shit. We can't do that. Like, yeah, that's.
But
look,
tell
that's
you what,
fair,
if you
I
had
guess,
the
but-
coin at the time when Melbourne was in the granny and you're a bit,
And you're a
you'd just
big
be
Melbourne
like, fuck it,
supporter.
like, would have been pretty fun, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't have, but yeah, no, I get you.
You wouldn't have? Like, you're too boring for that.
No, COVID stuff, But anyway, we don't need to talk about that stuff.
Do you reckon people will
So-
tune into All for Nothing at any point?
Oh well, when you start, turning up, and being a friend, and we can get that.
No, because
podcast.
it's the new big wave that's going to take over All for Footy.
Yeah, well, we need it, but
Yeah.
it's all dependent on you. Everything's set up on my end.
True. No, so
Just
we're
wait
ready to roll All
just
for
wait-
Nothing.
All for nothing. Just
Yeah.
waiting for a schedule to be locked in. That's it. But moving forward, I just want to talk a little bit about the podcast moving forward. We will potentially be doing some watch-alongs to some of the games. Reby, you aware of this discussion?
I
that
have
they
heard.
had?
I went to a meeting in Dispatches a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
It was upstairs.
I didn't know if you were included in this conversation or not.
I heard whispers through.
But
I was,
yeah,
I was
we-
in the hallway actually drinking out of the water fountain. And I just overheard it.
People-
I overheard someone dispatching it, but
But essentially I could come around to yours, have a little setup over there. We could do a watch along in person,
shit. Yeah.
and then Rick could be there, or Rick could be streaming as
Can
well.
we note a game right now
And
that
we're
we
just
might be
watching-
leaning towards?
Look, yeah,
Like the
absolutely.
Geelong Hawthorn
Why that
Easter
one?
Monday game or
What-
something?
Look, we absolutely could.
Because that's what I heard in Dispatches when I was drinking
But-
out of the water fountain.
We got to pick our matches. Like I think the Anzac Day match is a big one, unless people are going camping or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Tuesday works for me. Yeah. Mondays, Tuesdays, so we can.
yeah. Friday nights, Saturday nights, maybe.
No, I like it. I will do a watch along for sure. I mean,
Yeah. I feel like that'll be good. So yeah, and might be starting to do a bit of streaming myself on under the channel's name as well on YouTube. We'll see how that goes if I even end up doing it.
Absolutely.
The podcast is a lot of work for me as it is.
If Melbourne start flunking it early in the year and we start noticing a lot of road traffic up to Mount Buller, then don't be shocked, everyone. Just
don't do me like that.
might get busy on the road to Mansfield during mid-June.
But yeah, I have been streaming recently. I don't know if you know, I've been joining my good friend Nobot E's stream over on YouTube.
Never miss.
Go have a look at him.
Never miss.
And I've been playing a bit of pirate games with him online, and
Absolutely.
we've been streaming, having a good conversation. I think we did an 8-hour stream on Saturday.
Yeah, I was there, man. It was fucking tough.
Week
'cause I
before we
jived the
did
whole
another
time.
8-hour stream, and
Yeah.
we've done a few 8-hour streams over there, just playing games, just hanging out, having a chat, and if you want to, anybody interested in that, come have a look.
Man, I was
Great
there.
stuff.
I
don't even contact you to have a look. I don't
No,
know
but I'm
you.
always there because I had Jai's golf lesson and we
You
were
should
just
say
sitting there. And
Say
while
something
he
in
was,
the chat.
no, I just had it on. So Jai was just doing his thing, hitting golf balls, and I just had that on. And I was just watching and listening, and it was just just easy, just double taking.
Yeah.
Beautiful, great way to spend a Saturday morning.
Oh, it's a great way to have just a screen off in the background, just do another thing, half watching. You don't have to pay attention to it. That's the great thing about streaming. It doesn't need your full attention.
It's the whole thing. I didn't pay any attention, so no, it was really enjoyable.
If I tell you to watch a movie like I don't know, Oppenheimer or something,
Good movie.
and you're distracted for like a few minutes and come back to it, you won't know what the fuck's going on.
Have you ever watched Iron Horse?
No.
Good movie.
I'll take your word for it.
Two Hands. Good movie.
I've watched that. I didn't like it.
The Castle. Good
Terrible.
movie.
No, not a good movie. I'm sorry.
If you want to watch a good movie, just come to Daniel Raby's Facebook page, DM me. I can give you a plethora of good movie.
Happy Gilmore.
Oh, it's a
So
good
one
one.
at the top of the list. Independence
You wanna
Day.
go- Don't give away all the good ones. Just hold back, sir. Hold.
Well, I just brought up the 2 movies you've ever talked about. But anyway, we're getting a bit rambly.
No.
And we should end it. But you can find more of this rambliness on All for Nothing coming soon, apparently.
Why don't we go head to head this year for who finishes higher out of Saints and D's?
Alright,
That's a bet straight away.
let's do the bet.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll work it out after the show.
We shall.
Alright, and with that, that's it from us at All for Footy. And we are